Are you trying to sell your condo in Seattle or on the east side of the lake and wondering why it's just not moving? Well, you're not alone. The Seattle condo market is saturated right now, but here's the kicker. 1/3 of Eastside condos are still going under contract with multiple offers and price escalations. So if you're having a problem over there, it's probably related to price. But let's dig deeper into what separates the winners from the wallflowers and how you can get your condo, even in Seattle, into that sold with a smile category. The Seattle condo market is full of selection. There are a lot of units being listed right now, and supply is a little bit heavier and demand is a little bit lighter. And as an economics major in college, I learned about supply and demand, and it creates one simple truth. If your condo isn't selling, there's either a problem with the price or the presentation. But I don't want you to feel like you just have to drop the price right out of the gate. It's my fiduciary responsibility to get the very best I can for my clients. And that means, in this case, that we have maxed out everything that we can as far as presentation and marketing. We want as many eyeballs on the property as possible, and we want them to have a banger experience when they're there. So let's make sure your condo looks irresistible before we go the price markdown route. Now at Keller Williams, we have a lot of great books in our library, and Shift by Gary Keller is one of them. And one of the takeaways there is that when the market slows, you don't pull back, you invest in your education, your market knowledge, and your marketing. If you're serious about selling, you can't afford to just wait, hoping the right buyer wanders in. We need to shift strategies and shift quickly. How can we get more eyeballs on your property? Boo, boo, boo. Well, we need to talk about marketing. You need creative exposure, not just cell phone photos and a prayer. I'm talking about professional photography. Yes, even in a 600 square foot unit, we need vignettes. That includes the drone. That includes the square footage blueprint that shows the arrangement of the rooms. We market it like it is a luxury listing, no matter what the price point. I really recommend staging. I think it makes a huge difference, and statistics show that it helps homes sell for up to 6% more. We can use your own furniture in the home to make it look amazing and just thin out some of your personal possessions, or we can create vignettes. These are kind of scenes that you set, maybe a patio table or even a chair and a coffee table out on the porch so that people can imagine experiencing it outside. Maybe having a small dining set in the dining room to show, yes, you can fit 4 people in here and it's going to be great. Going even smaller, you could have a tray on the coffee table with a candle on it. You could have coffee push pot and some different beans and some cute little espresso cups. You could have some towels rolled or a candle or a can of cotton balls there in the bathroom to make it look a little bit more inviting. So think Airbnb, think Pinterest. And if you want a document that I've put together on how to stage your condo like a pro, even if you're doing it yourself, hit me up in the comments, or I guess message me with your email address and I will send that over to you. You don't have to spend a lot of money. You can use things that you already have around the house or with a quick Target run, and then you can save the things that you buy to use later on. Remember to keep the lights turned on, keep the rooms at a good temperature, not too hot in the summer when there's no air conditioning, not too cold like it's 60 degrees and everyone's in there freezing. They can't wait to leave and go back to their heated car. You want them to have a good sort of sensory experience in the home. It smells good, it looks good, it's ready to go. Now, speaking of smells, smells really turn us on or off at a visceral level. So make sure that your carpets are cleaned, you've had a professional cleaning in the home. And if you need to use an air freshener, you can, but don't let that first impression be an afterthought. We need it to really hit on all levels. We don't have a lot of time to show the home or make that wow first impression. Now let's talk about staging. Staging speaks volumes for buyers. People don't just buy it like a condo, they buy a lifestyle. So you need to make wow moments that make people smile, pause, kind of engage their senses. And here are a couple of favorite tricks. So when they come in, have a wow picture of some kind, not just that hairy bull with the horns, but like Marilyn Monroe blowing a bubble, or something that is sufficiently remarkable that they will then refer to your home as the Marilyn Monroe house, right? It kind of makes people smile. You could have pillows, like throw pillows on your couch with funny shams that say where the magic happens or blinking eyelids. That kind of shows that you have a personality, that you're willing to be a little bit daring, that you are giving thought to your staging and you want people to engage with it. You can also use funny candles or staging books with unusual titles. Give people a chuckle. Now, another thing that I recommend is highlighting the building amenities like pickleball courts, sauna, a gym within the unit somehow. You could have pickleball paddles hanging by the closet. You could have a flyer with a map showing how to get around your building and access all of these things. But you can, a lot of times if it's raining or it's bad weather, people don't necessarily want to go hunt down the clubhouse. So how can you bring the clubhouse and all of these amenities into the unit to show people what they're like? Now, let's talk about due diligence. If you want to make your home even more attractive, especially to the buyer's agent, then let's talk about how to help front load the due diligence. You do the due diligence, you spell it all out for them, so it's going to be easy for them to find it and use it, and it makes it look like the whole transaction is going to be easy. So here's what I advise. Have the resale certificate ordered. It takes 10 days to get it. Have a pre-inspection done. It costs $500. Fix a few things, and then share the resale certificate. Share the things that you fix. Share the inspection. Have a lender underwrite the property in advance to make sure there are no problems with the HOA that are going to make it hard to get lending. Find out if you can get FHA spot loans on the property, even if the HOA hasn't been fully approved by the FHA lending. The easier it is to say yes, the more people who can say yes to the property, then the more buyers you're likely to attract. Now, once you're on the market, it's really important for your agent to communicate with you about what's going on. This is the biggest complaint in our industry, especially when homes are taking longer to sell, is that you lose contact with your agent. You don't know if they're doing anything to sell your home. So agents, do not go radio silent. Sellers, here's what to do. You want to have a weekly call with your agent, review pending, active, and sold listings together, discuss potential price adjustments, and plan for this in advance. Like, at what point are we going to fly the white flag and say we need to do something differently? Let's incorporate showing feedback. Call the agents who have shown, find out what their buyers think, and we're going to prep you for days on market. We're going to find out what that is beforehand so we know what kind of a market we're going into. And last but not least on this front, when you do get an offer, make sure that you counter, even if it's not the perfect full price offer that you were hoping for. Don't just throw it in the trash. And here's another little trick. If the home has been sitting on the market for some time, you can refresh it by switching out the photos, rewording the listing description, and reframing the story that we're telling to the marketplace. It kind of makes people take a second look at it, and maybe it didn't appeal to someone before, but something new is going to catch their eye. So if you're thinking about selling your Seattle area condo and want to stand out in a crowded marketplace, let's talk. You can call me, Emily Cressey, at HomeProAssociates.com, and I will help you stage it, price it, market it, and close it with confidence. Because in this market, it's not just about selling, it's about selling smart. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you on the next video.